Our project involved students, instead of science being done to them, they were doing science. And I've got a couple slides here to explain some things. And the first slide is basically we formed a research team with approximately 53 students in different groups. And our problem was, to begin with, we were wanting to do wildlife, soil, and do a biological survey. But we figured that first day when we went to Elkhorn Educational Park in Floyd County, any of you South Floyd students here still, you know where that's at? Did any of y'all come that day and did that? You attended that? And you were invited, but Miss Wall was unable to go on the second part. That's why we didn't. But Angie Wall's not here today. She couldn't make it today, so she's at school teaching. She's going to miss that good meal. You make sure you tell her the good meal, too. So we focused on the pH quality. We found out that was just too much, and I think some of you, if you went on that trip, you may have collected some water samples and did pH. And the side of Elkhorn Educational Park, can you help me, girls, just for a second? Can you stand up and explain what Elkhorn Park is? One great thing is South Floyd, Allen Central High School are combining next year, and I hope to do this next year with everybody also, okay? What's Elkhorn Park like? You went that day.
It's huge, and there's like 3 or 4, there's like a whole big bunch of space, and there's ponds and there's streams, and they all kind of connect, but we all went to the different places, and we tested like the pH and stuff of the water. We all kind of took turns. It was supposed to be a bonding experience, and but it was enjoyable. Yeah, I liked it.
Everything was a perfect 7, which is the best pH that you can have. That's drinking water.
Like drinking water, yeah.
In our group, yeah.
And it was, like they said, it was a bonding opportunity as far as South Floyd and Allen Central kids.
I think we had 4 South Floyd kids, 4 Allen Central kids, and we all kind of grouped up and went together.
Right. And I think it was very successful that day because they got to meet people they didn't know, and they got to do
Yeah.
You did science that day.
Yeah.
That's what you did. Okay. Thank you. And Elkhorn Park is a reclaimed mining site, approximately 100 acres. It was mined in the 60s and 70s. It's got an underground mine there also, close. And it's basically been removed, the mountaintop, but it's been 30 years when they closed it down. And they have planted grass, they've got wildlife plots, they've planted trees, and they've got a picnic area. They also have a building that you can rent. You can try to look it up, Elkhorn Park, and you can rent it for the week for parties and things like that. They have picnic areas. It's just a great place to get out and know hiking trails. There's 3 or 4, and they're building another one. Okay, they do not allow 4-wheelers, so don't plan on doing that. I think they allow bicycles on it. Okay, and what we did was we compared it, the virgin first growth forest, Lily Cornett Woods. Anybody been there yet? Lily Cornett Woods is one of the last standing virgin timber, and that means it hasn't been logged in over 18, I thought, right. The gentleman that had the property they offered him almost $1 million, and he just told them, you're not going to do it. In fact, he shot some people when they came and asked him. So they quit asking him, is what story I heard. And when he passed away, he gave it to the U.S. Forest Service. And then I think approximately 10 years ago, they turned it over to EKU, or 25. Okay, help me with my history. Okay, and the EKU is there, and the gentleman is Robert Watts. He's been there almost 50 years, an interesting character. He can tell you everything about Eastern Kentucky and Lily Cornett Woods. Please go there at the end of the presentation. I'll have contact information for any of the teachers or the students. It's free, but you cannot go in there unless you have somebody with you. And they give 8-hour hikes, they give 2-hour hikes and 4-hour hikes, and they got 3 people hired to do it. I think that'd be a great job. Go hiking every day is what these guys do. And they do interpretive things to tell you about the trees and all the uniqueness. Okay, go ahead. Our questions was basically we wanted to study the effects of soil and water, but we focused only on water because our soil equipment was kind of old and it wasn't really giving us right numbers. I called the soil conservation person. He said it must be old. So we focused more on the water quality. We wanted to talk about the future usage of Elkhorn Park and Lily Cornett Woods. And what's mining had an effect on it? And what are some financial and legal incentives that we can decide how to use our land correctly? Should we reserve parts? There's no place in Floyd County. I think it's all being logged and mined, most of it. Should we set aside so many acres not to touch forever? I think we should. Okay, go ahead. And our big question, what's the quality of Elkhorn Educational Park compared to Lilly Cornett Woods? Next one. And as teams are supposed to have researched it, and I can't go in any detail, a lot. They learned about animals. They found turkey scat, that's poo, right? They found owls flying around. We actually tried to catch fish in the pond at Elkhorn Park, but we didn't catch any fish. We established probably 10 to 15 different animals in Elkhorn Park. They also seen turkeys at Lilly Cornett Woods. Nobody in my group, a girl that never seen a turkey before when they went in there. Okay, go ahead. And they were supposed to know about the biomes. There are 3 biomes, ours in eastern Kentucky, the Appalachian Mountains. Y'all know the pandas in China, same kind of biome there. Sichuan, am I saying that right? That's the area in China. And then the Ural Mountains in Russia. And I've had people from Sichuan tell me it looks just like that here. And people have been in the Ural Mountains. Pastor I had went over there on mission trips, and they were the same type of mountains. And he said it was just like our mountains. And it's very isolated, and coal mining was the big job. Okay? We wanted to also look at adaptations. How did the animals adapt at Elkhorn with the changes, and how did the animals, adapt in? How compare those two? We did engineering. We had pH testers you put in the water. Later on, y'all didn't get that. They came in later with the second group over there. And we also did dissolved oxygen. We just did several things with actually hands-on science in the field. And this is our conclusion, our data. We did 9 different sites at each site. And the big overall thing is average is 7.4 at Elkhorn Park. This is water pH level, and 6.7. We are now trying to figure out why there's a difference. There's a significant little, different. If you notice, point out number 4 is 8, and number 7 is 8.5. There's 2 sites at Elkhorn Park is a little higher. And it may be, we're going to go revisit that next year and see how close they are to the deep mine or maybe the strip mine and acid runoff. There was some acid runoff there. We seen red stuff. One of the kids said, "What's that red stuff in the creek?" Y'all see any red stuff in the creek when you went out? Okay. Now, Lilly Cornett, I talked with Robert this morning, Watts, because I told him what our thing was. He says they have a rain gauge that gets the rain. He says as low as 4.5. Okay, as far as pH. And I told him, what it usually runs. He said about 7. And just a little overview, 7 is neutral, drinking water. 0 is acidic. And then you've got battery acid about 1, 2, and so forth, all the way up to milk. All right, and on the other side, base, can you give me something basic? Sodium, something like that. So 0 to 14, 7 being normal, drinking. And we still need to go back and probably take a couple more readings and see if it does the same. Strange thing happened. South Floyd knows this, we missed spring break. Friday before spring break, we got on the bus and it was pouring the rain. Remember that morning? And the whole way over there, I was just worried about them getting wet. As soon as we pulled in the parking lot, it quit raining. And then they got out, went on their trip, walked through the forest. It quit raining the whole time. As soon as we got back on the bus, it started raining. So, and then of course we had to go eat somewhere good. That was my part. So we went to Pine Mountain Grill, if y'all know about that. So our conclusion is there is a significant difference, and there's something going on at Elkhorn Park, and we're going to try to find out. And it's probably, we think, our first hypothesis, it could be the acid rainoff. It could be that red stuff in the creek. And we're at the point now, which, we got 3 weeks of school, 4. We may get all the group together, or next fall we'll pull this back out and have a meeting the first week of school or two. Okay? And if you're interested in the handout plus contact information, please go to Lily Cornett Woods. There's a tree. One came back and said, there's trees there as wide as our bus. It's one of the things I heard. And they said, we love that. We've seen things we've never seen before. The water's crystal clear. You know, it's muddy here. And that's the kind of questions that we came up with. And the reason why it was good activity, the students generated their own questions at the end like that. Now, I even still had kids. I selected the next group to go. There, we had 9 go over to Lily Cornett Woods because we couldn't feed 50 people. But I selected them with how well they did, what did they turn in to me in the end, how, you know, and you all did great behavior-wise. Thank you. All right, and conclusion is there is a difference. We don't know yet why. We're going to try to call in some experts, maybe go with us and see the area and see what they think too. Any questions or comments? And if you want a copy of this, it's also got contact information, got my phone number if you need to call, and I'm SolomonKilburn@Floyd. That thing. So email me. Did y'all take any pictures that day? Why don't you send them to me, okay? I got some from my own students, okay? Any questions or comments? Thank you for your time.